Hi, Capricorn. I never actually know when it's going to start, so I probably look really stupid sometimes at the beginning of these videos, but I really, it doesn't give you a good prompt, so sorry. Welcome to your July 2023 reading. Things are only going to get even more intense in July, I'm afraid, when it cosmically. And if you would like to see what your astrology is for your rising sign, we are bringing the Patreon subscriptions back. We will, I'll be dropping all of the rising sign astrology on the 1st of each month. So starting July 1st, you'll get your rising sign astrology, and then mid-month, you'll get a mid-month tarot reading. So I'm not going to chop this one up. We're just going to extend it and give you another reading in the Patreon in mid-month. So you can join us. If you click the description box below, you can join us there on Patreon. We would love to have you. I've really missed being able to do that, being able to connect, in a more private setting and build a community. It's really nice to be able to do that. And we're going to be expanding and having more tiers, and we'll have some of the really amazing teachers that we've had on the Love and Science channel. We're going to be having them do workshops throughout the month as well. So there's going to be another tier that we'll be adding to that next month. But if you want to get in on the ground floor and start getting your extra information, we're going to be starting that now. Also, my 20% off will still be available until the end of this week. So June 30th, the 20% off my readings, my astrology and tarot readings, will expire. So make sure you take advantage of that. And my live readings will not be as accessible as my recorded readings. It's just easier for me to manage my energy with recorded readings. The live readings will still be available. They'll just not be as accessible. So if you would like to get a live reading with me and you've been waiting to do that, now is the time to do that. And yeah, so let's see. So I tried doing your reading before and my computer froze. Everything froze, the video, everything. It just froze. So I had to stop and restart my computer and reset everything again. But the first time the surrender card was surrender to rest and sleep. So that may be something that some of you need to hear. But I love this one for you guys too. Surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. So success and abundance is on your doorstep. It's just right there knocking, waiting for you to open that door and be ready to receive all of the abundance that you deserve, Capricorn. Receive, receive, receive. Let's see. I've often found that those things that I struggle with in my life, those things that I fight with in my life are really I'm only fighting myself. I'm really fighting against my true nature of what it is that I truly want. And I'm just fighting myself, So I'm saying all of this because the first card that came out was the 5 of Wands. So you may feel like there's petty arguing. The astrology is rough for July. It just is. I'm not going to fear you into it. If you want to get more information, you can watch the Patreon videos that'll be up. But the top row, we have the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. And then on the bottom row, we have we have the King of Cups. I almost called him the Knight of Cups, so whatever that means. But we have the King of Cups, and we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Magician. Okay. So I feel like I want to tell you to stop, get honest with yourself, Capricorn. I feel like I want to tell you to stop fighting. Stop fighting everybody else. Stop fighting yourself. It's like I want you to not argue with other people that are giving you advice or something. You know what I mean? It's like people mean well. And I think, sometimes we can kind of build up an ego around the whole idea that we know what we're doing. And if other people are coming in and trying to give us advice or something, for some of you, that's what this is going to be about. For others of you, I feel like there's a struggle for happiness. And the Ten of Cups is the ending of a cycle and feeling that ultimate joy and that ultimate happiness. And I almost want to say it's I feel like you're starting to struggle with finding joy and finding happiness. And this Page of Swords makes me feel like it's time for you to get honest with yourself. Having a true, honest conversation. And then we have the King of Cups, and we have the Six of Cups, and then we have the Magician. For some of you, this feels very much like there's a person from a past life kind of feeling like soulmate. The Six of Cups is very past life, very soulmate, very transformational, very childlike wonder type of energy. And with the Magician, part of me, the Magician can be the thing where we have all the tools to be able to manifest everything we want. And the Magician can also be a manipulation tactic too. So, to me, this feels very much like it's time. I feel like it's time for you to bring something back from the past into your life. You're reimagining it. I want you to get honest about why things feel like such a struggle for you right now. And then recognize, because it's you got to get honest with yourself about some things. It's why is this a constant struggle? That's what it feels like. It feels like this is a constant struggle. And I don't know why I'm constantly struggling. And it's a perspective change that needs to happen, right? Because a lot of the times we think that the world is fighting us, and really we are the ones that are restricting ourselves from being open and receptive. And the Six of Cups, if you look in the Six of Cups, this little guy is handing flowers to this girl. And so this is about being open and receptive. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's this receptivity that's happening. So let's see. 5 of Wands. Struggle with money. The struggle with happiness. Okay. Wow, your reading just wanted to come out. Let's try and get this last Magician card. Nope. See what it wants to. Okay. All right. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. If there's anything that I said that was correct in that struggle, the struggle for money, the Ace of Pentacles on the 5 of Wands. See, here's the thing. Take it from a 12th house North Node. Take it from a 12th house Saturn. You guys are ruled by Saturn, so you can understand that 12th house Saturn language. When you have faith that the universe is going to show up for you, the universe shows up for you, and you stop fighting against it. You stop fighting against all of the things that are trying to work for you. Okay, that Ace of Pentacles is a gift. And the gifts aren't going, the gifts, not the pictures that dance. The gifts from the universe are going to show up when you're ready for them to show up. And if you are still fighting with yourself about anything, belief systems, ideals, all of these old things that it's time for them to fall away, if you're still fighting with yourself over it, then it's going to be, you're not going to see the gifts showing up for you. The 9 of Swords on the 10 of Cups. So when we get a certain idea of what we think our happiness is supposed to look like, and we have certain expectations, and people get really mad and get really entitled, because when you've been through a lot in your life, and Capricorns go through it, because Capricorns are learning pretty difficult lessons in their lifetime. They're really like, you're born tiny adults. You just are. And so as you get older, you're learning how to lighten up a little bit, right? The 9 of Swords on the, you are pressing hard for life to be good and life to be happy and for everything to work out for you right now. And it gives you anxiety. 9 of Swords, that's anxiety. That's not sleeping at night. This is a whole bunch of expectations that you have of yourself, that you have of the world, that you have of other people showing up for you in certain ways. And maybe it's that you don't expect other people to show up for you, but you expect yourself to show up for you. When you struggle to find the funds, you're like pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to get it done. Right? When you're pushing and forcing that to happen, it's going to be real hard. It's not going to be an easy flow, right? It's never going to be an easy flow if you don't allow it to be an easy flow. And how do you make it an easy flow? You back off of yourself. You back off of yourself. You get honest with yourself about what it is that you want to see in your life. And you start moving in that direction. There's a lot of people in this world that will make excuses about why they don't do certain things in their lives. And I'm thinking about one particular person that last year, I was trying to tell this person, no, you have all of this opportunity and you have all of this space that you can make in your life, and you just let other people consume you to the point, and you let your past consume you, and you let, there were just so many things that she let consume herself. And it just got to a point to where I was like, well, you're not even going to listen to me. You're not going to listen to yourself. You're not going to listen to anybody that has any idea for you to be free, right? So the star on the Page of Swords, first of all, this could be an Aquarius that's kind of talking shit to you. Be careful if you have anybody, especially an Aquarius, ready to talk shit to you in July. I don't think that you're having that, but I feel like this is about getting honest with your purpose, because the star is the wish card. The star is what is it that you want in your life? Because you can have it. As long as you believe and show up for yourself, you can have it. But if you don't believe and you can't show up for yourself, then it's gonna just go fly right by. Because you're never gonna believe that you can do it. You're never gonna believe that you can have it unless you truly tell yourself that it's yours. And you can say all the fluffy spiritual sayings if you want to, what's mine will never, what's mine will always be mine. It can never be taken away from me, so anything that doesn't work out absolutely means that's not mine. I should not be paying attention to that energy anymore. I should not focus my energy on that. It's all true. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty of why, It's because it's a distraction. The things that when we take our focus off of showing up for ourselves and taking accountability, and we stop making excuses about why we have not looked outside the box yet or pushed ourselves in a different direction again, even if it didn't work in the past, even if it was a struggle in the past. This feels like a Pisces. This King of Cups feels like a Pisces. I also feel like it's somebody that feels very familiar to you. The High Priestess on the King of Cups. It's almost as if, like, part of me wants to say for some of you, this is the kind of person that you want to have in your life. You want to have somebody that you have like a telepathic communication with. You want to have someone in your life that, you know, that you can open up to and trust, and that's part of your happily ever after. Like I feel like this is about you manifesting what is abundant and what is successful for you, whatever that looks like for you, and recognizing how much it's changed. And we talked about this a little bit in June too, about, you know, the way that, you know, allowing yourself to really, like, it's an ego battle that we go through. You know, a lot of people don't like to call it an ego death, but there are so many parts of our ego that really do have to fall away by the wayside. And like, I've killed many parts of my ego. There's not just one part of my ego. There are many different pieces of it. And I've had to kill off a whole bunch of them because they were no longer true and they didn't benefit me. I wasn't just going to befriend that guy that was telling me that I was not good enough and I wouldn't be able to survive certain aspects of my life. You have to kill off parts of that, right? That doesn't mean that you let your whole ego go away. There's a very healthy version of your ego that you find under all that junk, all that negative stuff, right? So, you know, in some ways, this feels very much like somebody that you have a really close connection with. And I think that that's something that you're calling, for some of you, you're calling that into your life. For others of you, you have that in your life already, and you're finding that there is a transition that's having to happen. The Death card on the Six of Cups. For some of you, you are seeing that there are relationships that are no longer going to work for you. And that might have to be with this King of Cups here. There's some kind of water sign or some kind of energy in your life, and it changed you. It helped you evolve, and you probably helped that person evolve as well. But for some reason, now it's time to change again. And whether you guys come back into, I feel like you're not necessarily in alignment with this person anymore. And I think that you might be manifesting somebody else or something else. That could be an Aquarius. You could have been dealing with a water sign and now you're dealing with an air sign. We have the King of Swords on the Magician. And here's the thing is, I've been working with several people that are transitioning themselves through relationships, and I've been working with them one-on-one very closely. And I'm actually going to be doing, you guys are the first ones I'm telling, I'm actually doing a free relationship workshop on July 9th. I don't have any information for you yet, but if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I'll put it up on the YouTube community page as well, but you'll see it the most on Instagram and Twitter, and all of that information is also in the description box. But transitioning through relationships is a big theme right now, especially because Venus is going to be going retrograde in July, and you'll learn about how that's going to affect you as well if you go look at your rising sign. The bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. So I feel like you might have to choose someone or something. You're choosing something, and a lot of that is bringing tension into your life, and it feels like you're kind of overwhelming yourself with so many different choices that it's almost like you want to ignore that you have to make a choice. But it looks like things are transitioning for you. And I feel like that you manifested a certain person into your life. And that might mean that an old relationship it's time. It's like the ending for an old relationship and a new relationship coming in. And transitions like that can be hard, but it's necessary. And reminding yourself to complete cycles in the in the past for the older versions of your life, like completing those cycles so that you can move on into the future. That's going to be the most important part. So I love you guys. This is going to be an interesting July. So take care of yourself and remember who you are. Remember your power. And you know what? If you're not ready to make a decision, I sort of feel like you should be able to make that call for yourself when it's time. Just don't ignore, you don't want to hurt other people's feelings in the process. I think that that's probably the biggest thing to remember. So I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye.